Welcome, everybody, to the Legends of Indiana Basketball Show on the Gruely True Sports Network. The Legends of Indiana Basketball Show is brought to you by BetDSI.eu. You can go to BetDSI, put in the promo code TGT to get a 100% bonus on your first deposit up to $1,000. I am your co-host for the Legends of Indiana Basketball Show, Mike Goodpaster. Right now, I'd like to welcome in my co-host, 1981 national champion, member of the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, Steve Risley. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing great, but I'm not the most important person on this show today. I have another teammate who's a 1981 national champion and who I believe is also in the Hall of Fame. This is not about me today. This is about Landon.
Okay. Was there ever a day where it was about you on this show, Steve?
Oh, on the days at night would call me and say, "Can you go pick on Landon?"
Oh, okay. I've been on this show, though. It's because you said you weren't the important one here. But, all right. I'm just messing with you. Our guest today, our guest today, also a member of the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. He got in a decade sooner than Risley, though. And
he did.
I know he did. And he probably didn't have to campaign nearly as hard as you did. Help me welcome 1981 national champion Landon Turner to the show. How you doing, Landon?
Hey, what's up, fam? How y'all doing?
All right, we're doing great. Steve's always doing great, right, Steve?
Yes, indeedy. I'm living in Los Angeles. It's 101 degrees out here today. It's warm, sunny. Been in the pool.
Oh, go. Well, so what? I live in Indiana. You know how this weather changes.
Yeah, it's like 65 and rain today.
Is it raining in Indiana? Is it raining in Indiana right now?
It's not raining right now, but they are predicting thunderstorms.
More rain.
Hey, and the good thing, I'm in the southeastern part, Landon, and tomorrow it's supposed to get all the way up into the 60s and be raining.
So what part of southeastern Indiana are you from?
I am in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, right across the border from Cincinnati.
Oh, you over there at the casino? Yeah, because I have property down in Madison, Indiana, southeast.
Okay. All right. There's like 3 casinos right in a row down here. So the other one is in Vevey, which is right above.
Is right down here in Vevey.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's just start off from the beginning because I love to talk about Indiana high school basketball when it was a great thing, and it may be a good thing now.
Can I ask a question, Mike? Can I ask a question?
Sure, Steve. You can interrupt me whenever you want. You know that.
All right, thank you. Landon, how many sectional championships at Hinkle did you win?
I won one sectional. And one sectional, one regional. Cause my senior year, we went to the semi-state. What are you talking about, none?
We went to the semi-state, too, and got beat by Aurora. Now, Mike's going to bring that story up, so I'm kind of prefacing this whole thing now. He's bringing up Tim Johnson and Aurora. That's all going to come up. So is it Mike?
We got beat by Jack Moore and the boys.
Yeah, okay. And Jack Moore, where did Jack play at? Where did Jack play high school ball
Central.
at? Muncie Central.
Yeah, Muncie Central won it all in 78, didn't they? I think they beat Terre Haute South.
Yeah, they won in 78 and 79.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, and what was funny, Ray McCallum was on that team in 78. He was a freshman and didn't get second of time.
Yeah,
but
Ray played at Ball State,
didn't he? Sophomore, he killed.
Yeah, Ray McCallum.
Say what?
Ball State, yeah. Ball State, yeah. Great player for Ball State.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about that. I mean, we've heard Steve talk about the Hinkle sectional. You want to talk a little bit about your sectional, regional experiences in 78?
They lost.
Well, 78.
So did you, Steve. Be quiet.
We did not. How did we lose when we went to the semi-state?
Exactly, Steve.
Anyway, we won the sectionals. Then we went to the regionals, and we played Randy Whitman and Ben Davis in the regional finals. And of course, we spanked Randy's booty, and I dunked on Randy, and that was always good. I never brought it up to him, but he remembers. And then we went on and went to the semi-state against Jack Moore and Muncie Central, and for some reason I came out hitting my first 5 or 6 shots in a row, and then all of a sudden I kind of got froze out. I didn't get any more passes. And I don't know what happened there, but I don't know if it was a coaching thing or if it was the the players didn't want to give me the ball. I don't know what it was, but I didn't get the ball as much after hitting 5 or 6 in a row.
Landon, was your coach Eric Klein? Was he your coach, or am I wrong there?
Ernie Klein.
Ernie Klein. Yeah.
Yeah, God bless his soul. He is.
No. My
now.
coach just died. My coach just
man.
passed away. Yeah, Jerry Petty just passed away last week too. So
Didn't you play with Al and Hal Daring?
Well, they were at North Central. The Darings were at North Central. I played with.
That's
with,
right. That was at North Central. That's right.
I played with Ty Dickerson, the Petties.
Right.
Prominent. Yeah, Ty Dickerson was he went to go on and play running back for Notre Dame. And
yeah, you kicked our butt. You kicked our butt when I was a sophomore. I was a sophomore on the varsity team,
and we talked about that. You didn't play. You didn't play. You didn't play in that game. I don't remember that.
I didn't play a second because you wouldn't have wanted me. And you
I didn't want you. No, I wanted Mike LaFave. I wanted Eric Kirshner. I didn't want any part of you. You killed Antonio Martin, and you killed us. You literally killed us. Yeah, 2 years in a row.
And I was just wondering to myself, I said, is this guy going to put me in the game? Because I believe I can get here and do something. Because I was, even back then, I didn't believe anybody could stop me. Because you got to believe that. If you're a player, no matter what game or whatever you do in life, you got to always believe that you're going to get the best out of yourself and that no one can stop you, especially in basketball. And I didn't feel anyone could stop me, even as a sophomore.
Yeah, and then you ended up, you want to talk a little about your experience as a McDonald's All-American playing in that game?
Oh man, I really don't want to talk about that. I didn't really have a good game, man. I don't know what it was. I scored a few points and got a couple rebounds, but I really didn't dominate in that game. I just didn't have a good game. Only game in all the All-Star games, I didn't have a good game, but I did have a good game in the Indiana All-Star game at Market Square Arena. I scored 23. I was 11 or 14 from the field. They finally fed me, and I did pretty good.
Yeah, and that's the thing where I don't think people realize how big that All-Star game used to be. It's not anymore, but that used to be a huge deal.
I was going to ask about that, yeah.
And also, we went undefeated against Kentucky. We kicked Kentucky's butt.
What happened in 1977?
We lost both games, Landon. When I played in '77, we lost both games. We lost both games in Market Square.
We made it up the next year. We made it up the next year, my brother. We kicked Kentucky's butt.
There you go. But
we did.
And I read that today, how they said that now that the All-Star game should be changed from Indiana versus a regional team now, not just Kentucky anymore. What's your thoughts on that before we get into college and everything with Bob Knight and everything?
Well, I'm a traditionalist, and I kind of like the old school, man. I don't like class basketball. I like when we played. If you was the best team in the state of Indiana, then you were the best. You were the champion. Now it's so watered down with 4 or 5 different classes, and then you got 4 different champions, and that's kind of watered down. And just like the Indiana All-Stars, they need to keep it with Indiana, Kentucky, because that is a tradition. They shouldn't be trying to change it up. But it's all about money. Ain't a damn thing funny. So then they're losing money at Indiana All-Stars. So now they're trying to think of something where they can get paid and get more money. That's what it's all about.
Who's running it now? Is it still the Indianapolis Star? Don Bates is gone. Bless his heart. One of the greatest guys of all time. Who's running the Indiana All-Star program right now? Who runs it?
I think I don't really know. Is it ISSA?
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I hate to put you on the spot. I don't know either.
Yeah. Is it Indiana Corporation, Indiana Sports Corporation? It's probably
are they the ones running it? Yeah.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility,
yeah.
but it's kind of watered. It's kind of watered down now, man.
It's been one-sided for a long period of time. Yeah.
When we played, man, Market Square Arena was packed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Hinkle Fieldhouse was packed. Now you go to the games, and I mean it's not even sold out. Now it was sold out when Tech Titans won a few years ago. Now Bankers Life Fieldhouse was packed. I mean those Tech fans came out in droves. It was wonderful.
Yeah, and I think you
When
see
was
that.
the last time Lawrence Central won the state championship in basketball?
We
Lawrence
never
Central
won the state
ever
championship.
did.
We never won the state championship. Are you kidding me? Come on, Landon. You know that.
I'm sorry.
Hell, I don't think they've been any good since 1977, have they?
I don't
No,
think
they've been
so.
good.
Oh, they have.
They've been good.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they had Kyle Guy, the greatest player to ever come out of Lawrence Central. Leading scorer of
He
all
is the
time
greatest
now.
player ever to come out. Yeah, he is the greatest player ever to come out of Lawrence Central. Is Kyle Guy.
All
And
right.
then Norm Sloan, and then me.
I don't know. I think there's got to be somebody else in there that we're missing. But what we
I've always wondered, Steve Risley, the Grizzly. Everyone, I mean, you was good as hell in football, man. You was a hell of a quarterback. What made you decide to just go to the basketball realm?
What made me decide to go to basketball, and we're going to turn this conversation back on me, which I really don't want to do because I want to talk about you. But what made me decide was Bob Knight was the only coach who said I couldn't play both sports. Actually, the first person who ever recruited me in my life was Lee Corso. He came to me as a quarterback as a sophomore playing for J.R. Bishop at Lawrence Central. We were 10-0. We were ranked number 2 in the state behind Vegas, Ferguson, and Richmond. And that was the point system where we didn't get in. We didn't qualify to even play in state championship, but we went undefeated. And, I mean, I had never thrown a pass in my life. And J.R. Bishop said, I had Ed Thompson, who was 6'5" quarterback before me, and I want a big, tall quarterback, and I'll teach you to throw the ball. And he taught me to throw the ball. Now, how good I was, well, we went 10-0, 9-1, 8-2, I think. Michael,
that's
Google
good.
that right now. Yeah.
No, I won't, because I don't really care, Risley. But go ahead.
Yeah, but he'll bring that up. But I wanted to play football, and Lee Corso was the first coach ever to recruit me. And Knight said, "I'm done with Quinn Buckner. I've dealt with this crap. I'm not doing it ever again."
Yeah, but if you were a
Quinn
quarterback,
played
it'd
defensive
be impossible to play quarterback and play basketball at IU.
I agree. Yes, I agree. In this day and age, it would be totally impossible. Yes.
It would be back then, too, I think. Just the quarterback, big difference. Quinn Buckner was what,
you're
a
right.
DB?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
All right, so
Quinn was a DB. Quinn was a DB.
Steve, wasn't Knight so nice and charming when he came to your house to recruit you? Wasn't he so nice and charming?
I have so many pictures of him hugging my parents. It's hilarious. I looked at them the other day because I have these scrapbooks that my mom made for us, and you probably have the same ones because I know your mom and dad are two of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. And I have these same pictures.
I lost my mother last year.
Did you? I'm sorry. I lost both my parents years ago. But I have these pictures of Bob Knight sitting on my coffee table, me signing a letter of intent with Paul Dietzel. You remember Paul Dietzel? Did he sign your letter of intent?
Man, I don't remember.
When you were there? Yeah, it was Paul Dietzel.
I don't remember.
And I have these pictures of him smiling with me, and I'm thinking, this is the biggest crack of shit I've ever seen in my life.
You're
not
lying,
Bob Knight.
Man,
I'll post the pictures right now. I'll get them out and scan them and post them on thegruelingtruth.com, and I'll show you how happy he looked at signing me. And then he got the 2 days into practice and said, "What the hell did I do?" Then 1978, he says, "Let's get Landon in here," and Landon,
Lord.
you were,
So, Landon, did you have any reservations as a McDonald's All-American coming to play for Bob Knight? That class was you, Kitchell,
great
Whitman.
question.
Yeah.
Well, I
Great
had reservations because I had heard rumors, and I heard rumors how he cussed his players out, he pushed his players, and then in the Indianapolis Star was a picture of him snatching Jim Wissman off the floor by his jersey. I said, man, I don't want to play for a crazy-ass dude like him. And so, but then my father, you know, I had letters from colleges all over. I had over 300 letters from colleges all over the country wanting me to, you know, play for their school. And my father said, Landon, you're not going to nowhere but Purdue or IU. I'm like, well, damn. You know, and I was even kind of looking at Louisville because, you know, I kind of, you know, because Denny Crum came to my house and, you know, was recruiting me, and I kind of liked Denny Crum. And then, you know, I said, okay, I only got two choices. So I went to go visit Purdue first. And when I went to visit Purdue, man, and it was so drab and looked dingy, and I went into Mackey
Red
Arena,
brick,
and it was
red brick, red brick.
And it was dark, and I said, man, I can't play in dark Mackey Arena like this. And then, so that left IU. So then, you know, going down to IU, you take 37, then you see the Rhinestone Hills in southern Indiana looking beautiful. Then you get driving the campus. And, I mean, IU has such a beautiful campus, and it's even more beautiful now. And so when going in there, then I went to Assembly Hall, and it was all bright. And I was like, I said, this is what I'm talking about. And Knight was so nice, and the assistant coaches were so nice, and everything. Cruz and everybody. I said, well, I'll go to
Gimelstob, Cruz, Royce Waltman. Who were the other assistants?
Tom Moore. You remember Tom Moore, right?
Tom Moore. No, Tom Morris. Was it Moore or Morris?
And Gene Davis.
And Gene Davis, yeah. And then they had Roy Bates. You played with Roy Bates. You knew Roy Bates.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Talk about that.
So then I decided to go to IU, and I said, you know, meeting night, and he was so nice to my parents. I said, he can't be mean like they say he was. Boy, then we had our first practice. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. And then he started hollering at me, telling me, move, Landon, move, calling me names. And then, you know, and he had me doing the loose ball drills by myself against the whole team. I said, oh, hell, what did I get myself into? This is too crazy.
This is so true. I mean, I vividly remember all of what you're saying right now. And here's the funny thing, Landon, is he called all of us into his office and told us to do this to you. Because Landon, here's the deal with Bob Knight. And I've known this man, I'm 60 years old, so I've known him since I was about 17 or 18. So that puts me somewhere in, 40 years in that various range. I don't know. I'm not doing math right now. Yeah, but I'm saying I have never seen him wanted to see a player succeed more than he wanted you to succeed. He worked his ass off to make you Landon Turner. And do you agree with that? Do you agree with that statement?
See, no, the one thing I want to say is Coach Knight told me, he said, Landon, he said, if you work your ass off and you apply yourself, he said, you could be the best player to ever played at Indiana University. And you know,
and are you the best player that ever played at Indiana University? I think it's pretty close. Who's better?
Let me finish. So right. I was the kind of person that really didn't, you know, I didn't really take practice serious like you should. You know, I was more into a game type player. I was the kind of player to get fired up for the games, and then I wanted to kick ass in the game. But for practice every day and practice, you know, going to Assembly Hall every day, I just didn't take that serious every day. And because of that, boy, he rolled my ass. Oh my goodness.
Okay. So here's a question for you. Did you hate that drive? Because I drove around campus for 30 minutes, hoping I didn't have to go to practice that day. Did you hate that drive, going from your apartment, your dorm room, wherever you were staying, and I don't want to go park in. I don't want to go park in the curb. I don't want to go in here. Did you hate that practice?
Every day. Only time I really liked practice is when we was kicking everybody's ass, your senior year, when, the end of the Big Ten season when we didn't lose anymore. Practice, he was funny. He was like a white Richard Pryor. He was just telling jokes and we were laughing. I was like,
wasn't he?
So
He was.
Trick. All we had to do was just win every game.
Yeah.
No, but I dreaded going to Assembly Hall because
I hated going to Assembly Hall. Hated it.
Especially after losing a game. Oh, my goodness. If you lost a game or two, practice was going to be hell.
Yeah, okay, so what game did you hate losing the most? No, I never did. I think in 78 or in 82, you guys finally lost to Northwestern, didn't you?
I didn't get to play in 82, man.
You didn't play. That's right. You weren't there. That's right. You weren't there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You got hurt. Yeah. You got hurt. Okay. The team lost in 82 to Northwestern. But what game set you apart as like, I don't want to lose here? There was two for me. There was Northwestern.
You got to put Purdue. You got to put Purdue in there.
But did you ever win at Mackey Arena?
Never.
We never won there either.
Never won there, and they never beat us.
They never won. Yeah. Exactly. That's amazing. But then you didn't want to go to Ohio State and go lose at Columbus because
hey man, what about your junior year, my sophomore year, when we were playing Buck Williams and Clark Kellogg and them, and we went into overtime and lost. And we drove the bus.
I missed the layup.
Well, but that wasn't it, man. We lost the game. We got on the bus, and they had all that damn McDonald's on the bus. And, we were hungry as hell. He threw all the McDonald's on the ground, and they had to drive that 2 hours back to Bloomington. Would that be considered child abuse?
I believe I've heard that story a few times.
Yeah. Can we swear on the radio? Because I'll tell you exactly what he said.
You swear on the radio all the time, Steve, so I don't know why you're trying to put on a show for Landon.
We all got on the bus, and it's like, I used to get as far away from him as I could get. So I would go to the back of the bus and just sit back there and say, I've got more space than anybody else does because Tommy Baker was up there, Tony Brown, downtown Tony Brown.
Tommy was gone.
I love downtown Tony Brown. Greatest guy to never get. Tony Brown was. I talk to him weekly. He is a good egg. But you sit there and say, I just want as far away from him as I can get. And so I would sit there and watch him. And you would see him and I saw him get on, and I'm thinking, I'm starving to death because I like you, Landon. I didn't eat pregame meal because I didn't want to have food in my stomach before I got in the game. I kind of wanted to be hungry and go play. And then you get on.
Starving then.
Yeah, and you're starving, but you smell this McDonald's, and he gets on and chucks it on the interstate. And he did that more than once. Man. Yeah.
It's not child abuse when everybody's over 18, Landon. You should have just won the damn game.
But that's torture, man. We went into overtime against against Herb Williams, and and Clark Kellogg, Kelvin Ramsey, Carter Scott,
Jim Ellinghausen. Yeah, I remember the whole. I told the story a million times.
Granville Waiters, was he on that
Granville
team?
Waiters, yeah. Granny, yeah. The ball-headed 20-year-old. Yeah.
So we was playing good. We went into overtime and lost. But then you get on that bus. I'm like, oh man, a Big Mac. I'm thinking, man, I'm hungry. And he threw it all on the ground. And then we got back, and then we had to go to the Ironman's room where he probably tore the Ironman's room up. He just tore the Ironman's room up.
Oh my God, I remember that. The Iman's room. I forgot about the Iman's room because I used to.
You cannot forget about the Iman's room.
No, you can't forget about the Iman's room.
Because after we put our uniforms and everything on the floor for the managers to get, and we had to all meet up at the Iman's room when we got back from away trip. And if we lost, we tore the Iman's room up.
Did you know that Nancy, his first wife, had him wear steel-toed shoes so that when he kicked the toilets, he wouldn't break his toe? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
No. If he wore wingtips, black wingtips. Go look at almost every picture of Bob Knight.
I just know whatever he wore was not.
It was going up your boot. It was going up your boot.
I did not want to wear nothing he wore because, he was not a fashion sense coach.
You didn't like the plaid jackets?
I hated them.
Risley's probably got a few in his closet.
I kind of like to dress GQ, even though I didn't have a whole lot of clothes. But I try to dress up GQ as much as I could.
All right, so
Landon, I had one pair of khaki pants and one blazer that I wore to almost every game. You were styling. You had leisure suits.
Yeah, I think I had a lime green leisure suit, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then Ray had an orange one.
Ray had an orange one. Yeah. God bless Ray Tolbert.
And then we had those. Remember, we had those big butterfly collars on our shirts.
Yep.
It was back in the 70s, man. That was back in the days of what was that? Was in the night fever? What was that? I'm trying to think of that group.
Saturday Night Fever.
Guys
Bee Gees.
sing real high.
Bee Gees.
Yeah, the Bee Gees. Yeah. Yeah, that was cool, man.
Okay. Okay, so Mike, ask questions now because we've rambled.
My question is this, and it's just general because I like hearing this anyways, but 1979-80, that season, to me, is what could have been season because you guys were preseason number one. You'd added Isaiah Thomas, but you still had Mike Woodson in the mix also. The problem was Mike Woodson gets hurt. I think Whitman got hurt during the Kentucky game. You guys end up losing in the Sweet 16 to Purdue. That had to be one of you guys, both of his biggest disappointments because that team with Mike Woodson may have been just as good, if not better, than the team that won it all in 81 if they would have stayed healthy.
You know what? I always say, and I love Mike Woodson, I do. But when Woody was there, basically he was our offense. Us as big men, Knight basically wanted us to set screens for Mike Woodson and get Mike Woodson open. And it was like, get Mike Woodson open. So, in 81, when we won it, it was more of the team was getting we was getting each other open. It wasn't like just get one person open, get Mike Woodson open. It was like, let's get each other open. And let's play this game and let's kick butt. But when Mike Woodson is a great ball player, a great shooter, but it just seemed like the way Knight had it, we just had to just look to get him open. He didn't really look. I think I probably got one or two screens the whole year.
Did Risley ever get a screen? Risley, did you ever get a screen?
No, I never got a screen in my life. I just bought a screen because our screen on our pool patio door broke. I had to buy a new screen at Home Depot. So I just got a screen. Yeah, I did.
Oh, there you go.
Landon. Oh, my God. I forgot my question now. I know. I'm trying to come up with my question.
Talking about getting Mike Woodson open.
Yeah. Getting Mike Woodson open, getting him the ball. And did you just understand that was our role? At that point in time, that was our role.
That was our role. Yes, it was.
It was our role.
And to rebound and to play defense.
Yeah.
Because I know when Knight was first recruiting me, he just told me, he said, Landon, I just want you to play defense and rebound. I said, well, Coach, I can also score. I just want you to play defense and rebound. I said, well, Coach, I can score. Play defense and rebound. I should have said, man, I'm not going to IU because of that. But I went anyway, and I enjoyed myself when we were.
You're still enjoying yourself. I mean, you're still a part of IU basketball. You are one of the hugest parts of IU basketball, and you're still enjoying yourself.
Hey, Risley, you mean one of the biggest parts, not hugest.
Biggest. I'm sorry. Yeah, bad terminology. Yeah, my bad.
I understood what he was saying.
So did I. I just like to mess with him because it's fun. But
I go down to Bloomington every 3 years and attend a game, and there's Landon giving lectures and talking to people and wowing people and telling them the stories that he's talking to us about right now. And I'm amazed because, like I said, I forget half of them. But Landon knows them all, and he continues to live that and continues to do that. That is great. So, Landon, who's the best player you ever guarded you in practice?
Probably Ray.
Holy cow!
Ray told me because I wasn't hardly ever on the starting. I was always on the second team, the red team. I was so it was always
the white team. We were on the white team.
Well, the white team.
White team. Yeah, we were on the white
team.
So
it was always Ray guarding me and me guarding Ray.
Where was I?
You wanted me to say you?
He did.
Yes, I wanted.
I can't believe he didn't clear it with you before he asked you live. Because I was waiting for you to say Steve, and then I was going to say, well, you were told to say that.
No. Okay. Tell the story. You have to tell the story about you busting Knight's back out. You got to tell the story. You and I talked off air about this.
I don't hardly remember it that much, but then I kind of do.
I remember it like no tomorrow.
I just know
he decided he was going to teach you how to play defense. You remember he was going to. We were on the north end of the court. He was going to try and teach you how to play defense. And we're like, this is another Landon teaching moment. And we felt so bad for you because it's like, why does Landon have to continue to get put through this stuff to do this every day? It's not really – because we all loved Landon. Landon is a great guy. And we went there. You don't remember him trying to guard you and then him not being in practice?
I remember that.
Tell the story as you can.
And I just don't realize I can't believe that he thought he could stop me.
He couldn't stop you.
He actually thought he could stop me, could guard me and stop me. And so I just I told the guy I could shoot, I could play basketball, I could play offense too. So he tried to stop me, and so all I did was jump hooks on him, jump shots. You backed him down, dumped on him. I mean, hey, you can't stop me, Bobby.
And he went down. He bent over, and he went into the locker room. Do you remember this? I remember it vividly because I'm like, oh, my God, we don't have night for 3 days. This is cool. This is going to be a vacation for us. We don't have to deal with Bob Knight for 3 days yelling at us. And you took him down, and he crippled off into his locker, and he showed up 3 days later. And that is of all the moments I have next to winning a national championship, which is an incredible honor, that may be the funniest thing or the greatest moment I've ever seen in my life was you just taking him down to the paint and him trying to guard you at 6'5". Because, see, people don't realize Bob Knight is a big man. He's 6'5".
He's a big man.
He's a big man. I mean, he's always surrounded himself by you and me and Ray and Eric and yeah, he's always surrounded. So he always looks smaller than the rest of us. But he is a big man. And I just remember that happening, and I'm thinking, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Now, I didn't know until he didn't come out 2 days later that it was funny because I thought he's going to come out really pissed off in about 30 seconds. And we're going to run.
Don't you know after all that, he still continued calling me a pussy?
I know, yeah.
I mean, this dude, I mean, look at this, Steve. Tell her. I mean, my freshman year, Jordan throws me a ball. I dislocate. I get a compound fracture in my little finger.
Oh God! I think I'm the one that drove you to Indianapolis with Strickland. Was I part of that?
No.
Your bone was sticking out of your finger.
The assistant coaches told me that
your bone was sticking out of your finger. And you know what? You know what you find out, Landon, after looking at your finger? Bone is white.
Yes, it is.
That bone it's white, and it's sticking out of your finger.
But anyway, let me get to I had a compound fracture. 2 days later, I'm practicing.
Practicing, yes.
And remember my sophomore year, do you remember when we played in Portland? I was throwing up and was real sick. And we stayed in the Red Line Inn in Portland, and I was sick, and I had a room all to myself.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think I had the flu or something. And the next day, I was in the game. But he still continued to call me a pussy. What's going on with that?
Okay, well, and here's the deal. Here's what I think. I think that he saw more value in you than he saw in anybody else. And he saw, I say this from all sincerity, he saw more value in Landon Turner as a basketball player and a human being, and a kid that he thought that he could take and mold him and do more good with him than anybody else. That's what I think. Now, I could be wrong because I didn't live what you lived. I was a part of making your life miserable because we would get called in and say, Punk Landon today. Yeah, and you want to talk about the drawer dropping incident, or do you want to bring that up or not?
No, we don't want to talk about that.
No, we don't want to talk about that. Okay, we don't want to talk about that. All right. No,
all right,
he saw more value in you than he did anybody else. And, Landon, we would not have won the championship. I don't care if Isaiah is our star. Had it not been for you, we would not have won. Do you understand that?
Well, he finally let me loose.
Yeah.
I mean, he finally let me shoot without, taking a shot and then putting me on the bench. He finally let me be a little bit of me.
Yeah, and we all knew what we were getting in Isaiah. We knew we were getting Isaiah. Isaiah is Isaiah. He's Isaiah Thomas.
He's a hell of a player, boy.
No, he is one of the greatest players of all time. To have the privilege of you and I both to play with him is just, I tell the story all the time. I got to play Isaiah Thomas and I combined for 26 points in the national championship game. He got 21, I got 5. Big deal. But I tell that story. But the unknown commodity was you and stepping up to your game like you did and shutting down Perkins, Worthy, Al Wood, and we handled, Whitman.
Well, I never guarded Worthy. I guarded Worthy my sophomore year, his freshman year. He went around me and laid it up. I said, damn, that guy's quick.
Yeah.
Then my junior year, I never guarded. He just played Ray on Worthy, and I guarded Al Wood and Perkins.
Who did I guard?
I think you guarded Perkins, didn't you?
I guarded Kitchell.
Okay.
How can you guard Kitchell? He's on our team.
I know. It's Steve. It's just Kitchell got in foul trouble, so Steve got to play. So Steve's thankful.
Yeah, and then Landon fouled out. I got back in the game because Landon, you eventually fouled out of that game, Landon.
Yeah, with 5 minutes left in the game, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I came back in.
Well, if we look at that in 1981.
Jim Thomas came in and did a hell of a job.
Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy Thomas. Yeah. No, Jimmy Thomas was.
Jimmy Thomas is a hell of a ball player, man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And probably one of the most underrated players ever played at IU. Yeah, I agree. He got things. He understood Coach Knight, and he didn't get rattled by Coach Knight. He just took it all in stride and said, "Okay."
I don't remember Coach Knight ever cussing Jimmy out.
Him and Woodson. They never coached either one of those two guys out.
Well, 1981. You guys
he kind of got cussed out my freshman year.
Did he ever cuss Risley out?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. I got kicked out of practice more than anybody.
Risley,
Are you kidding me?
Risley, you know, one of our the biggest feat had to be winning the national championship, but the second biggest feat was winning the NIT championship when we only had 9 players on the team.
Okay, so now you talk to Mike Goodpaster about this because Mike thinks the NIT was a chump change thing.
I never said that. I said it was more important back then.
It's a chump change thing now.
Yeah, it was chump change.
You tell him that, but not in 1979. It was not chump change. That was Ohio State, Purdue, us, but not in 1979. We played our asses off to win that thing.
Man, we had to beat Ohio State and Purdue.
Yeah, but don't you think that
Ohio
helped?
State and Purdue.
Don't you think that helped make the game more?
Did we play Alabama? Who else did we play? Was it Alabama?
Was it UAB or Alabama? Mike, who's the 4th team?
It was Alabama.
It wasn't UAB.
It was Alabama.
It was Alabama then. Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't you think that added to the importance, though, of winning that tournament because you played Ohio State and Purdue?
No, yes, definitely.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike, the Big Ten was so strong back then.
Oh, I know, but they could only take 2.
When you look at it, my freshman year, 78-79, Michigan State with Magic Johnson won the national championship. My sophomore year, Steve Risley's junior year, there was Purdue and Iowa was in the Final Four at Market Square Arena.
At Market Square Arena in Indianapolis.
Louisville won it. And then my junior year, Steve senior year, we won it all. The Big Ten was stacked.
Yeah, I know.
And so, Mike, there were 2 teams that made it to the Final Four that year, or made it to the NCAA. It was Iowa and Michigan State. Were those the 2 teams?
Which years are you talking about, Steve? 79?
79.
Yeah, because there was only 2 that could because there was only 32 teams in the tournament. And that did make it a much more important because the NIT held importance until about the early to mid-'80s when they expanded the field up to 48 teams.
Right.
And I remember being excited about it just because Indiana was beating Purdue. And it doesn't matter when that happens. It could be in the middle of August, and it's a big deal.
Man, that was a hell of a game, man. I tell you, that was a great coaching job by Coach Knight because Purdue had a way better team.
They had Joe Barry Carroll back then.
They had Joe Barry Carroll. They had Roosevelt Barnes. They had Jerry Seasting. They had
Arnett Hall, Drake Morris,
Arnett Hallman.
Arnett Hall,
Keith
the Walker brothers. They had Brian Walker. Don't forget Keith Edmondson.
Yeah, he was a hell of a player.
Keith Edmondson.
And we beat them with 9 players. Well, I guess you could count Steve Reach. But did they have Seasting? Was Seasting playing for them too? Jerry Seasting was on that team. Remember, he missed the last shot.
Was on that team too. Yeah, he hit the last shot. Yeah, he did.
He missed the last shot. Yeah, and we won the NIT. But then we get back to Bloomington, and it was almost like we didn't even really win. It's like no one really took the NIT serious. It just seemed like it was You know what I mean? It just, but to the team, it meant a lot. But when we won the national championship in '81, got back to the campus and we saw people on 37 with signs saying that congratulations.
Do you remember that?
Yes,
do you remember
I do.
landing at Indianapolis? We landed at Indianapolis. Remember, we landed in Indianapolis.
And it was a ton of people.
It was unbelievable because the entire 37 was lined with people, kids out of school, lining the interstate or the state road 37, which is the hallway between Indianapolis and Bloomington. Do you remember that, Landon? And then do you remember them pulling the bus? I have a picture of them pulling the bus into Assembly Hall. We drove right down the ramp, and they pulled the bus in, and we got up there. We all had Adidas hats on. Yeah, we had Adidas hats on, and we were all getting paid like Kansas basketball players are getting paid. But we can't talk about that right now, can we?
Coach Knight was getting paid.
Coach Knight was getting paid, yeah. He was getting the money. We weren't seeing any penny of it. But
no, we weren't
that whole thing of going down and then seeing Assembly Hall, it was packed. Was there an empty seat in the place?
It was packed, and then everybody got up and talked and everything. The seniors, which you was one of the seniors got up and talked first, and then every other player said something. I remember the last thing I said was, "Well, everybody, you party hardy, because I'm gonna be right there with you." And I turned around and looked at Knight, and he just nodded his head, put his head down to that damn Landon.
And he said, "Your ass is mine next year." Risley's gone.
Yeah, so I mean, but then what was crazy is because I think you were staying in the apartment stand, but I was still staying in Ashton Johnston. So when I parked at that parking lot across the street, from 10th Street, I walked across the street. Man, I tell you, by the time I got back to my room, man, I mean, my little bitty dorm room was packed with girls. I was kissing them and just hugging them, and man, it was unreal. It was unreal.
Landon, I was living in a sorority.
Yeah, because you're a
woman. I thought you was staying over there. I forgot the name of those apartments on 10th
No,
Street.
Meadow Park. Yeah, Meadow Park.
Right,
Fountain Park.
right.
Women and Kitchell lived in Fountain Park. We lived in Meadow Park. Yeah, and we were all right there.
I know Ray lived in Fountain Park too.
Ray lived in Fountain Park. Yeah, Grunwald lived in Fountain Park. I lived in Meadow Park because I got a bigger room. I got a bigger apartment for half the money.
Right.
And
who'd you stay with? Did you stay with a past player? Or did you stay with a friend?
No. You remember? Oh God, Steve Reese, Applehead.
You stayed with Steve Reese?
Yes. Do you remember Steve Reese?
Of course I do. Of course I remember when we got. I remember when we got. Well, I don't want to. He's passed now. I don't.
He's
I'm not
passed away. Yeah. So you don't want to. You don't want to. Yeah, I agree. But I roomed with Steve Reese and Applehead. Remember, we all called him Applehead. And
right.
Yeah.
Because his head was shaped like an apple.
That's shaped like an apple. That's obvious. But no, Reese was my roommate at Meadow Park, and he was never there. I don't know where he lived. I don't know where he slept, what he did, but I had an apartment to myself. I never saw him.
He was an IU basketball player, man. He's probably living in the sororities like you.
No, Howard. Who was the guy that was the mayor of the town? Howard. What was Howard's last name?
Howard.
He owned Fountain Park and Meadow Park. You know what I'm talking about. Howard. Oh, Jesus.
I don't remember him.
Yeah, I know you're going at. And
stayed in Fountain Park.
Yeah. No.
But did you used to go to Pancho Villas?
Yes.
I used to love Pancho Villas, man.
No. Did you go to Bruce's Cafe?
Oh, come on, man.
Who didn't go to Bruce's?
The big greasy hamburger.
And the brain sandwich.
Free greasy. Those free sandwiches and greasy fries that we used to eat all the time.
and who was the guy that did the cooking? Oh, what was his name? Because they were only open from 3 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon.
Because he's passed now too. His name
was they've all passed.
Papovich. Big Dan.
Was it? Mm-hmm.
Big Dan Papovich.
Okay. All right. There you go.
You remember Remember we used to go at the end of the season. We used to go to his house and used to eat all his food and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was
I still actually have a bottle of champagne. I have a bottle of champagne from him. I've never cracked it, opened it. It's from 1981. He gave me a huge magnum of champagne, and I've never cracked it. I keep it as a trophy, and it's probably one of the most valuable things that I've got. And it's rotten now, I'm sure, but I've never cracked it. And yeah, that's cool. Dan,
can I say something right quick? I just want to say, yay, because the Blues just scored.
I know. I just got a text from our friend Lucas telling me that.
The Bruins.
So do I.
God,
we're trying to teach Risley to watch hockey, but he still hadn't really figured it out yet. No matter how much he watches
No,
it,
I
he doesn't
like
seem to
hockey.
grasp
I
it.
just don't understand hockey.
That's what I just said.
So Landon,
Man, you know what?
Landon.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't understand hockey either until I started playing it on the PlayStation. And when I played it on the PlayStation, that's how I learned all the rules and stuff.
There you go. You need a PlayStation, Risley, and you can learn the rules by
PlayStation, yeah,
playing
I
that.
know.
You do that in the off season.
Man,
You're ready to go next year.
The Blues are this is the end of the first period, and the Blues are up 2-0 over the Bruins.
2-0 now. All right, that's good.
2-0.
That's
I've got it
good
on right
because
now.
on our show like a month ago, I predicted the Bruins would win the Stanley Cup. So.
Oh, really? Oh, well, they got some playing to do now.
Well, the Blues are
So
up
Landon,
2-0.
Landon,
so.
Talk
Landon,
to me, Risley.
what are your thoughts of Bob Knight? I mean, how do you feel about him? If I can ask, if you don't want to talk about it, I get it. I have very distinct feelings about Bob Knight. What are your thoughts? Because you went through a lot more crap than I did, and you were more valuable. But he put you through some stuff that was like, really seriously, we're going to make him do this. What are your thoughts about Bob Knight? As a coach, as a leader, as a bench coach, as a person who molded your character, what do you think about him?
Well, he didn't really mold my character. He did not mold my character.
Yeah, your parents do that.
He is one of the best coaches that ever coached the game. I mean, he's a hell of a coach. Now, some of his antics I did not like, and I think he was an asshole for some of the antics that he did. You know, sometimes I think that you could be a little bit more psychological and doing some things instead of talking about you. Even though I didn't mind him calling me a pussy, I didn't mind him calling me an MF. I didn't get, but when he brought the family into it, there were times where he said some things about my mother, some things that she said to him. He would bring it up in front of the whole team, and there's times that he said things about Isaiah's family and stuff. Now, to me, that was assholing.
He said stuff about gay. He said stuff about gay. Yeah, he said stuff about gay. I don't know that he ever talked about his mother.
Don't bring our families up.
Don't bring gay up. Yeah.
Cuss us out. Talk about us. I can take that, but don't bring my family up. You right?
Yeah.
Very fair.
You know,
You're very fair. No, very fair. Very fair.
But as far as getting you ready for he got us so prepared before the games. I mean, we took our notes. Well, I mean, remember on the board, he had every player with their weaknesses and what their pros and what their cons were. You would get up there and write in our little red book on the player that we.
Yeah, no, okay. Then that's a $10 question I was going to ask you. Do you still have your scrapbooks? Because I still have mine, my notebooks. Do you still have yours?
I still have my scrapbook, but all I got is cartoons that I drew in them. I must have tore that stuff. I must have tore that stuff.
I drew cheerleaders' names and phone numbers in on mine, so we're on the same page. Janet Campbell. Yeah, there you go. There's a name.
But I still had the cover, but the inside I don't have any. I don't have any notes that I took while he was talking.
Do you remember us going out? And this is what people don't understand about Bob Knight. Do you remember us? He would take us in and watch film, then he would bring us back out with our notebooks, and we would sit for an hour, and he would talk to us, and we would take notes. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and we would also take notes in the locker room too.
Yeah. When you're not getting thrown something at you by the Zemi machine or something he's pissed off about, but you would take notes. You just would write stuff down, and I don't know any other coach that ever did that. That they maybe exist.
They do. Paul Brown used to do it.
Did he do that? Okay.
If you remember, we had Sam Weish on Survive in Advance, who played for Paul Brown, and that is the reason that Paul Brown named him the head coach of the Bengals, because when they did the interview with it, Sam actually took the old notebooks in and actually showed them to Paul Brown, and Paul Brown had made a comment, even when Sam Weiss was playing for him, that he took the best notes of anybody that ever played for him, and that actually got Sam Weiss from being a 3-8 coach with the Indiana Hoosiers to being the coach of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals. There you go. Yeah.
because all Sam White did when he got to Bloomington was change the color. He changed the color of the uniform. He changed the helmets, but he didn't change anything about the winning ways.
Yeah.
We've had that talk too. We've had that.
Hey, but the good thing is Sam left, actually was successful, took the Bengals to the Super Bowl, but more importantly, then IU got Bill Mallory. Then they won for a decade.
And Bill Mallory was a hell of a coach.
Yes, he was.
Hell of a coach.
And that program hadn't been the same since he left.
Do you all remember Rob Turner, the wide receiver for IU?
Yeah,
that was my cousin, and he broke the record in receiving in the Liberty Bowl that they won.
Yeah, was that against Virginia Tech? I think it was.
I can't remember who that was against. But I just know he kicked their butt. I'm so glad.
Yeah, Bill Mallory was a hell of a man too, not just a great football coach.
That's true. Now getting back to Bobby Knight. Now Bobby Knight, there was some animosity. I mean, I had some animosity because he did make me do a lot of running. He did cuss me out a lot. He did a lot of things because he was expecting so much from me. And I was an immature kid. I mean, I was immature. I didn't think, he's doing all this because he wants the best out of me. I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking, this guy's riding my ass. What's going on? He don't like me? So I'm thinking crazy like that. So, but then when I got hurt and when I got in my accident, broke my neck, who was out there raising money and doing motivational speaking and started the Landon Turner Trust Fund and did all that was Bobby Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I started. That's when I said, I said, this is a little bit deeper than just playing basketball. He's more of a life coach. I mean, this is my life that's involved. This is my life that's in a wheelchair. This is my life that's been paralyzed. But there he was supporting me, raising money for me, and doing the things that, I didn't think he would do, but he surprised me, and he was there 100%, helping me. He came to the hospital to visit me, and he was just there 100%.
Yeah,
Landon, I remember. You were in Methodist, right? You went to Methodist first, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
I went in there. I got a call that you had been injured, and I went in there, and I don't think you were even awake because you were in the ICU, and Knight was there, and I just remember, I don't know that I've ever been so emotional in my life as seeing somebody laying there and thinking, this is Landon Turner. And, where do we go from here with him? Is he going to be okay? And that's a gripping memory in my life that I remember walking in to Methodist down on 16th Street in Capitol and seeing that. It was tough. It was very tough.
Well, I tell you what, I think
there's night in tears. There's night in tears.
No, I would never imagine that. That's crazy. But I tell you, I think I was unconscious. And I woke up on the fifth day. And when I finally woke up, it was like, I thought I was in a dream. I thought I was actually having a nightmare because I thought I was going to wake up in my apartment, and because I don't remember this accident. I don't know what the heck happened. I just know I was driving on 46 going to Kings Island. Next thing I know, I woke up in the hospital, and then I woke up.
You were in
up
between Bloomington and Nashville, right? You're between Bloomington and Nashville.
Right, and I had a tracheotomy in my throat, so I couldn't talk. And then I had that halo on, which those screws were screwed in my head, so I really couldn't move. I mean, it was crazy when I woke up, man. I was like, man, this is what the hell? It's like your life could be taken away in the blink of an eye. So that's why I tell everybody when I go and do my speaking, I'm like, live your life to the fullest. Be the best you could possibly be, because your life could just be snipped out in a second. Like right now, while I'm in my house talking to you all, airplane could crash on my house right now, and there's no more landing. But I mean, we just need to be the best person that we could possibly be. We need to be good to others. We cannot be assholes to other people. We can't be mean to other people. If people are going to be mean to you, just leave them alone and pray for them. But just be a positive beacon in this world to help others to be the best person that they could possibly be. That's what I'm all about now.
So, okay, so what so you take that to the next level. What do you do today? You go out, and I know you have a philanthropy. You take care of things and you do things. What do you do today to go out and make a difference in everybody's life?
First of all, by being out there, letting people see me, and because I know a lot of people that have been paralyzed and not able to walk again, not able to live the life they used to. But, just to be able to see me out enjoying myself, still enjoying my life, seeing me at concerts, still going out and doing motivational speaking, talking to kids, talking to businesses, telling them to, get the best out of yourself, be the best. And just living my life to the fullest and just being the best I could possibly be. If I just laid around and just stayed in the house all day and, and just stared at the walls, I can't get my message out there. And I think when people just see me, that is inspirational. But then when they hear me talk to them, when they hear me say positive things to them, then hopefully they will add that into their life, that they can, if they're feeling down on luck or they're not having a good time on their job or whatever, they can think about me. Say, well, Landon could do it. If Landon could be positive through the things that he went through, that I could be positive going through these things that I'm going through. So that's the beacon that's what I want to be. I want to be a beacon of positivity, and that to let everybody know that, hey, no matter what you go through in life, you can still enjoy this life and be loved and be loved by others.
Okay, Mike, I gotta let you talk.
No, you don't.
I'm enthralled. No,
but
yeah,
this is the thing.
I do.
The thing that impressed me the most about you, Landon, is within 3 years after this accident, you graduate from Indiana University. Now, I don't know if this is true, but everything I read was that you weren't the greatest student before the accident, but you come back from the accident, and within a couple of years or a year or two, you're back at IU, and you end up getting your degree by 1984.
Yes, and that was. No, I wasn't the greatest student in the world, but my goal in life when I was playing basketball, I wanted to play in the NBA. I mean, I was a Pacer fan, I was a Mel Daniels fan. I loved the Mel Daniels and Dr. Dunk and Freddie Lewis and Roger Brown, and I mean.
Hey, Landon.
What
was Mel Daniels' number?
What's your interjection?
What was Mel Daniels' number?
Uh-oh. Was it 32?
No.
I don't remember what it was.
Mike, what was Mel Daniels' number?
You want Mike to take a guess at this?
Yeah.
Mel Daniels was number 34.
There you go. And who was 34 at IU?
Who was 34 at IU? Brian Evans.
Risley.
I'm sorry.
God, that was a softball, Steve. You knew Brian Evans was coming out.
I know. I got to lobble up there sometimes for everybody. I got to do that. Go ahead, Landon, because what you're saying makes sense.
But I've always looked up to the Pacers, and I was like, that's what I want to do in my life. I want to play basketball. But I mean, going through when I was younger, I ran track, I played football, I played baseball, but basketball was one of the sports that I kind of could excel at. And so I wanted to play in the NBA. But now I'm hurt. I'm paralyzed. I broke my neck and my 6th cervical. Now I can't play in the NBA. So what did I have to fall back on? Something that I really didn't like to do, and that was study. And so I told myself, I started this, so I'm going to go ahead and finish it, and I did.
All right, so Landon, here's a question for you. Did you ever think about coaching? Because, I mean, you know the game. You got taught by probably the best. Did you ever just think about saying, I can go coach? I can teach people how to.
I've coached. I've coached.
Talk about that.
I mean, I got my degree in physical education, and I mean, there were Nike leagues that I coached in. I was assistant coach with Ray at Southport High School, and that was kind of a joke. But I coached for the Nike league, and And I did that for 3 years. My first year, I got blown out. My second year, I won the Nike League Championship. And my third year, I was in the Nike League Championship finals, and I ended up losing by a point. So, I've done some coaching. I can do some coaching, but the kids these days, there's a different kind of discipline there, and I just really don't love coaching. I'd rather play more than coach, but I just don't look at my career wanting to be a coach, because there's a lot of stress there, and I don't like a lot of stress in my life.
Mike?
What? I thought you'd have a question. I thought you'd be ready for it, Steve. Yeah. When you guys look back at playing for Coach Knight, definitely worth it?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yes, no doubt.
I mean, all the loose ball drills, the loose ball drills, diving on the floor, all the getting cussed out, had to run at 7:30 in the morning around the football stadium, didn't have to go run with the team to the golf course, run the golf course, run back to Assembly Hall, play ball, and if it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, lift weights. I did all that, and but I look back at it. I don't know if I would do it again, but I'm glad that I did it.
And you hated Ray Tolliver because he ran backwards. You remember him on the golf course? He would run backwards.
I didn't hate Ray. I didn't hate him.
I know. Nobody hated Ray because Ray is the most lovable guy in the world. But it's like, I'm dying here, and you're having fun with this. Because Ray had 3 lungs. He had an extra lung that none of us had.
That dude didn't get tired, man.
He didn't get tired. And I remember running the golf course, and I'm thinking, I'm dying. I'm thinking, okay, I'm a pretty good athlete, and I can't – he's running backwards, smiling at me, cracking up, and you just want me to just not be nice.
But Risley, while we was doing that, remember I had to get up at 7:30 in the morning with Coach Cruz and run around the football stadium about 50 times, and then run with you all.
You did.
I don't know how I did it, man. but I'm the pussy. But I'm the pussy though.
No, there's no pussy. I mean, no. What you put up with.
Well, he gave me a box of tampons. You remember that?
Did he take him out of Risley's locker?
Now that you did, now that you brought that up, talk about it. You brought it up. I laid it.
That's
I wasn't
in the
bring
book
that up.
too. I
Go
was
ahead.
in Feinstein's book too, wasn't it? A Season on the Brink.
Yeah, that was in Feinstein's book. Yeah, Season on the Brink. Yeah.
What about the
Landon.
tampon?
Talk about it now.
Well, we was in a team meeting, and then Coach and I had like a little brown bag, and he said, Landon, he said, me and the coaches chipped in and bought you a present, and then he handed it to me, and I reached in the bag and pulled out a box of tampons, and then he looked at me and just smirked at me, and you pussy, I'm like, oh my goodness gracious.
Okay, let me ask you this question, Landon, because this is what Kent Benson told me when I was being recruited, and Mike's heard this before.
A lot.
And it's like when I was getting ready to walk into Assembly Hall to go meet Coach Knight for the first time. And Kent said, let me tell you one thing about Bob Knight. Don't listen to how he says it. Listen to what he says. If you can get past how he says things and get to what he says, you'll be fine. Do you agree with that statement or not?
I agree with it, but sometimes
it's so fun
when he's in your face and his face is all red. I mean bloodshot red. His whole face is bloodshot red, and he's screaming at you. And he's nose to nose to you, and he's calling you out your name. Sometimes it's hard to hear what we're trying to get the total meaning of what he's talking about.
Oh, she Landon, and that's what's great about not being a very good basketball player at IU. I never got that. I didn't get what you got. He just said, write him off. We don't care. We don't care. What about Risley? He's not. You were important enough that he got in your face like that, and we were damn glad he did. We were damn glad he did because you made us national champions. And
well,
let
it
me
was
take
a
it to
team effort, man. It was a team
No,
effort.
it was a team effort. Yes, it was a team effort. Yes. Let me go one step farther now, and then we'll wrap it up because I think Mike's got to go do some other stuff. I don't know. He's got a boxing show. Mike, you have a boxing show tonight, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
11
Okay.
o'clock.
Let me ask you one more question. The state of IU basketball today. Do you want to talk about it? Do you not want to talk about it? Are we in the right place?
I'll talk about it.
Do we have the right coach? Are we in a good spot where we're getting back to where you and I were? Which yeah. So whatever you want to say.
Oh well, no, we far from where we were.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Far away. We're far from where the '87 team was. I mean, come on.
Okay, talk about it. I mean, whatever you want to say.
Okay, yeah. You know, when the new coaching job was up, I emailed Fred Glass, you know, and I told him I
talked to Fred Glass too. I talked to Fred Glass too.
I told him, I said, I think we ought to bring in, you know, a past favorite, you know, bring in a Randy Whitman or Mike Woodson or Keith
Woodson
Clark,
or Whitman, yeah.
Or you know, what's our boy over there, the Michigan State?
Dane Fife. Yeah,
Dane Fife. You know,
yeah.
I brought
I
that to him. I brought that to him, and he wrote me back a nice letter. Said he's gonna get the best person, the best coach that he possibly can. So he interviewed. I have that same letter. Damn, you gonna let me talk, man?
Yeah.
Damn, you interject a lot.
I'll tell you, it's true, Landon. He does.
It's terrible.
My goodness. I'm talking and I hear you talking. Can't nobody understand what the hell I'm saying?
Go ahead, Landon.
Anyway, so he sent me the letter back, and then he hired old boy, you know, and I said, I was like, okay, I give him a chance, you know, because I like Fred. I said, give him a chance. And so, you know, and I know he has coaching pedigree and everything, and I think he could do some good. You know, so far, so not that good, but I'm thinking he might bring it back around. But I'm just hoping and praying that, you know, that Archie does a great job because, like you, Steve, this basketball program means a lot to us. You know, it's in our hearts, it's in our minds, and it's something that we're going to live and die by. You know, I'm sure that when I have my urn, when I pass, and I have my urn there, there's going to be basketball paraphernalia around and all that. So we basically live and breathe Indiana University basketball. So we want to see this program do well, and I'm hoping that Archie does a great job. I want him to do well. I wanted Sampson to do a good job. I wanted everybody, because I want this basketball play. I mean, we're used to putting banners on the rafters. That's what we're all about. And, you know, and barely getting to the NCAA and all that, that's not Indiana basketball. And I want to see it getting back to where it used to be.
Well,
you can go ahead.
What do you think is the key to getting back where it used to be?
First of all, we need to grab these good players like we used to back in the day out of Indiana. A lot of these good players from Indiana are going to other places because IU basketball is not like it used to be. I mean, IU has to start winning. Winning brings great players. That's why Risley and I went to Indiana University, because Coach Knight has won a championship before we got there, and there were two other championships before we got there. Indiana wins basketball. They put banners in the rafters, and so in order to get these great players. And, you know, the one and done is kind of, that's kind of tough on us. But, you know, we just need to get the players out of Indiana, and I think we can get the winning ways back and start putting them banners back on the rafters. But, you know, a lot of these great players from Indiana are going straight to other colleges. And you know, how many Indiana players do we have on our team, Steve?
I'd have to look up the roster. I don't think many.
Almost everybody. I mean, Jim Thomas was from Florida, And I
on
think
our team
Tony
in
from
'81.
Illinois.
Yeah, okay, in '81, yeah, we all were. Yeah, we all were from Indiana, pretty much.
Right.
Jimmy Thomas from Florida.
Except Isaiah, Tony, Glenn
Grunwald, Illinois.
Right.
Isaiah was Illinois.
And Jim Thomas, Florida.
That's it. Other than that, we were all. Yeah,
everybody else from Indiana.
Galveston. Yeah. Ben Davis, Randy, LaFave was from Cecina High School in Indianapolis.
Phil Eisenbarger, Muncie Central.
ISO was from Muncie. Yeah, ISO was from Muncie.
Yeah.
Kirshner was from
everybody. Ray from
Ohio. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree entirely.
We did have Butch Carter. He's from Middletown. Yeah, but that was at 79-80 though.
Yeah. Woody was from Broad Ripple.
So that's why I think is one of the reasons. I think we can get that. We need a good coach that can make great decisions in game decisions, because Coach Knight was one of the best in-game decision-making coaches of all time. I mean, that guy, and that guy could. I mean, we get in the huddle, boy, and we do what he says. Man, boom, it worked.
Bench coach.
We just need a coach that can make.
He was a bench coach.
Go ahead.
He was a bench coach. Yeah, he was the bench coach. He could coach the game in 30-second timeout. He could coach the game. He could change the game in 30 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, exactly. Because, just like in 81 when we won the championship, he decided to put Isaiah, instead of having Isaiah bring the ball up, he put Isaiah on the free throw line, and Jim Thomas would bring it up, give it to Isaiah in the free throw line. Isaiah could turn around, look for you, me, Ray, or pull up. And that was just an ingenious play that he just put together right there, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
The guy.
Before we wrap this up, Landon, you got to tell us the most embarrassing or entertaining Steve Risley story that you got.
Okay. Can I ask one question before we do this? Before you do this, can I ask one question? Because and Landon, I'm sorry for over talking on you. I am passionate like you are, so that's a fault I have, and it's a bad fault. Who's better, 76 or 81?
I'm biased, man. How you going to ask me that?
I'm going to tell you 81. Match it up. Match it up.
You played on the 81
Quinn Butler, of course, Quinn Butler couldn't stop Isaiah.
He couldn't stop Isaiah.
And I think that Bobby Wilkerson and Randy Whitman. Bobby Wilkerson was more athletic, but Randy was smart as hell on the floor. Man,
yeah, Randy was smart.
Was so smart.
And not that Bobby was not smart.
And had a better jumper.
Randy had a good NBA career too.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
and Ray and you against Benny and let's just throw.
So who would have guarded me? Scott May?
I think you'd have had to put Scott May on you. I think you would have had to.
So
Benny had to guard Ray.
Ray would have killed Benson.
Killed Benson. I agree. Yeah.
And Scott May guarding me, man, come on, man, I'd have killed Scott May. and then who was it? Was it Abernathy?
Abers.
Who was the other?
Yeah, Abers. It was Abers.
Kitchell would have killed him. Kitchell would have killed him.
Kitchell and Jimmy Thomas. And so who's the bench in 76? Cruz and was
Jimmy Thomas would have killed Cruz.
Wayne Radford was the bench in 76. You would have
came in and killed him. You would have came in and got some boards and some layups.
Yeah, I think the 81 team was a better team. Actually, I do. I actually think I would have loved to have had that game. I would have loved to have played that game.
We would have killed 87.
87 is a fluke that happened. It happened.
It wasn't a fluke.
But it happened. But it happened.
They weren't as deep and talented as you guys' team.
Right.
And they probably didn't have to play as good a team in a national championship game either. I mean, Syracuse was good, but that North Carolina team was loaded. The only thing I'll give you guys is
this. Wait a minute. What about our Mike, what about our first game?
Against
LSU?
Maryland. Oh, yeah.
Maryland.
The Maryland team was maybe the most talented team you guys played with Buck Williams and Albert King.
Yeah.
And
Who was their point guard? Who was your point guard? Ethan? Who was the
Reggie,
point guard?
Reggie
No,
Jackson.
you're thinking of
Reggie
Ethan Martin.
Jackson.
That was LSU.
That was LSU. Okay, he was on LSU. That's right.
Reggie Jackson was a point guard. He played on the McDonald's All-American team with me.
Landon, do you know this? And we'll end it here. I went to that game packed to go to spring break. I was a senior, and my buddy went to college at Wittenberg, which is in Springfield, Ohio, which was about 20 miles away from Dayton. And we played in Dayton that game. I'm like, I'm not going home with the team. What's he going to do, bench me? I don't care. I'm leaving. I'm going to go to spring break. I've never been to spring break in my life. And we got down, 8-0? What was the early score of the game? We were down a bunch.
8-0.
8-0. We were down. And then I never saw a basketball team click on all cylinders like we saw Indiana click for the next 30 minutes of a basketball game. We just started, everybody started. I mean, you were making shots out the bajingas. Ray was playing great. Isaiah was being Isaiah. Whitman was hitting everything he threw up. Kitchell couldn't miss. And we all
the
were
whole
doing our
starting
part.
five was in double figures.
Yes. And I tell people this. Mostly a basketball team will hit on 5 or 6 cylinders, meaning you have 12 players on a team. You get 5 or 6 guys going well, and it goes good for you. That day, Indiana basketball hit on all 12 cylinders. Anybody who came into that game made contributions. That's what I remember about that game.
Man, that game was, I think that was one of the best games we ever played, man. I mean, when we used to practice that 3-on-2 break, we did that 3-on-2 break so many times on Maryland. It was like practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. But see, now I know how important practice is, but back then, I was an immature kid, man. I didn't take practice serious, but I wish I would have.
I could talk to you for another hour.
Better player.
The only thing that sucked about the whole thing there, though, was Kentucky getting upset by UAB, or you guys would have been playing Kentucky at Assembly Hall in a regional semifinal.
No.
Or DePaul.
Well, DePaul was actually, without the upsets, it would have been Kentucky in the Sweet 16, and in the Elite 8, you guys would have played DePaul with Mark Aguirre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, who was that? Who was that that beat DePaul? The Eagles.
St.
The guy used to flap.
Yeah, John Smith, 43-42 at the buzzer. Yeah, and then you guys.
And then they all came to Assembly Hall and played in Bloomington. And that's the last time that ever happened either. That we actually played.
The last time that ever happened was 1984 when Kentucky got to play Louisville and then Illinois at Rupp Arena.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And if Steve would pay attention, I've corrected him on that.
Yeah, we talked about that before. Yes, we did. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the reasons because
we was doing globetrotter tricks on St. Joseph.
Yeah. Well, St. Joseph's was just happy to be there. But the thing, if you remember, St. Joseph's, they beat DePaul like 49-48, and then they upset Boston College. And that Boston College team, I think, had Michael Adams, who was a hell of a guard.
Yeah, they did.
And that was a 42-41 game.
I wanted to say Bagley. There wasn't a Bagley on that team, was
I think Bagley was on that team too. I know Bagley was on the team the next year because the next year is when Dan Palambizio and Ball State almost upset Boston College in the first round.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then I think
I love the sport of basketball.
Yeah,
I love Indiana basketball.
I think Boston College made it to the Elite 8 the next year, if I'm not mistaken. It was either 82 or 83, but Bagley was a hell of a basketball player.
But you know what? That next year, man, because when I go up against you, and we beat you or you beat us, I really don't like your team that much. So I hated Michael Jordan and Worthy in the championship against Georgetown. I was rooting for Georgetown so bad, and then when Michael Jordan hit that shot, and then who was his name that threw the ball to the ball to Worthy. I was like, man, and I had like maybe about 5-6 beers, so I had a decent little buzz going, right? Boy, when he threw that ball away, my Buzz just walked out the door without me. That my Buzz was walking. My Buzz wasn't even in a wheelchair.
Yeah, Georgetown had that game. You remember that's the game where Ewing came out like the first 4 shots North Carolina took. Ewing just jumped up and snatched them out, goaltending.
Right. Yeah. I was rooting for them. I was rooting for them, man, because I knew that North Carolina was a good team, but I didn't know about that guy Michael Jordan. I was like, that dude made a big difference, boy.
Well, especially James Worthy was the player of the game in that game, though. And he's the one who hit the free throws at the end,
Worthy about 3 or 4 times, didn't he?
What was that?
Did he dunk on Pat Ewing about 3 or 4 times?
Oh, yeah. James Worthy was a bad dude. And, Steve
Risley
said that Worthy wasn't that good.
Risley, how many, what?
That's Risley said the other day he didn't think that James Worthy was that good.
He didn't scare me as much as Al Wood did or Perkins.
Man,
Worthy was easy to.
The first time I played
was
James Worthy.
No,
first time
college,
I played James Worthy. Man, wow! Go ahead, Risley. Go ahead, man.
No. Go ahead. I don't want to talk over you.
I said the first time we played North Carolina with Worthy was at Assembly Hall, and I was guarding him. He went around me so quick. That told me right there. And then he just kind of finger rolled it like Dr. J. And I was like, that told me, I said, this dude's going to be good. And I didn't know he was going to end up being one of the 50 best players in the NBA.
Yeah, he wasn't good. He was great. He is great.
Oh, and the thing about him is
great.
He was at his best in the biggest games, too. Just like that championship game, if he comes out and misses those free throws after that, I mean, they may not win the game because you'd have gave the ball back to Georgetown with 3 or 4 seconds left, and you never know.
Right.
So he was a great basketball player, and there's a reason why when he got to the Lakers, they called him Big Game James.
I just wonder how come, all the dunking he did on Pat Ewing, I wonder how come he didn't do that dunking on Ray and me and Steve.
Well, in his defense, he was a year younger, too, though. So
but he
maybe
still
he
had that talent, though.
Maybe he learned something, though, by losing that game.
I think he just got a little more aggressive.
That's what I mean. I think that in the 81 team, if I remember right, Al Wood was the star. So with Dean Smith coaching you, I mean, maybe he kind of had the reins more on Worthy when Al Wood was there.
And that was another wonderful thing that Coach Knight did. He put me on like Al Wood, Albert King, Kevin Boyle, Mike McGee. Here I am, 6'11", guarding.
Oh, no. I got a picture right now. I'm looking at it right now, me guarding Kevin Boyle. You never guarded Kevin Boyle. I have a picture right now I'm staring at in my office of me guarding Kevin Boyle. You never guarded Kevin Boyle. You guarded Curtis Mayfield.
Do you want to make a bet?
Yeah, I'll make that bet.
No, wait.
Actually,
okay.
I can settle this because I've got the 1981 Indiana-Iowa game on a VHS tape. We could find that out.
Can I have that? Can I have that? Could you get that put on disc and send that to me?
Yes, I can.
If we put you on Kevin Boyle, Landon.
You don't have to pay for
if we put you on Kevin Boyle, we were wasting your talent.
Listen to me, Risley. What do you want to bet? You want to bet a dinner?
Fly out to L.A. You got it.
Oh, no. I
would
say if you lose, Risley, you should fly to him.
My favorite beer.
What's your favorite beer?
Man, I like so many I don't even know. But I'll say Guinness Blonde.
Guinness Blonde. Okay, yeah, let's bet. You never guarded Kevin Boyle.
Let's bet. All right.
He's too short.
Yours
only 6'5".
Look, wait a minute. Let me talk. Your senior year, my junior year, I get put in. I wasn't in the starting lineup, but Coach Knight finally put me in against Iowa at Iowa, and he had me guarding Kevin Boyle. The white guard. I was guarding him. And then from there,
okay. I got to watch the film. Mike, hold the film up, Mike.
I don't have the game at Iowa. I've got the game at Indiana.
Yeah, I got to see that.
Well,
I don't think you ever guarded Kevin Boyle.
I sat on the bench.
You guarded Mayfield. You guarded Mayfield.
I know. Actually, the 81 game at IU, Risley got the start.
That's right. I didn't even get a second in that game. I don't want that tape. But anyway, I guarded Kevin Boyle, and we lost the game. And then I was put in the starting lineup against Ohio State, and we never lost another game.
Oh, okay. Hang on a second.
I still need a funny Steve Risley story too, Landon. Don't let us get off here without that, because it looks like
no, don't
get
a funny. I'm trying to think. Yeah, the last game we lost was at Iowa, right? That's the last game we lost in '81. Yeah. We got pummeled, 91-60 or something like that. We got killed. We got drilled.
I was bringing us back. I was bringing us back and fouled out. Then we got killed.
But do you remember coming back to practice Sunday morning? Because it was a Saturday night game, I think. If I'm doing this right, it was a Saturday night game. We came back to practice, and we all had Vaseline. We all got taped, and we all and think we're going to do loose ball drills. We're going to die, and this is what we're going to do for the rest of the day. And that's when Knight came in and said the Connie Chung statement. I'm not going to repeat the Connie Chung statement because it's not appropriate. But you know what the Connie Chung statement is.
Yep.
Do you remember that, Landon? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He came in, and then he let. And here's what I think happened. And I'd love to. Gosh, we need more time, because I could talk to this guy Landon forever. Did you not think that at that point in time there was a battle going on between Knight and Isaiah for control of this basketball team? I thought I saw that happening in the locker room. I saw that going on, and I'm thinking, and Knight just kind of came out and made that statement, and then he let Isaiah take over this basketball team, and we never got touched again. Do you see it that way, or do you see it differently?
I kind of see it differently.
Okay.
Than that. Because Knight always had control of the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he wasn't gonna let no little black kid from Chicago run his team. No way. But he
knew Isaiah was special. He knew Isaiah was special.
He was special, but he still didn't let Isaiah totally loose.
Okay.
Not totally loose. Because Isaiah could score every time down the court if he wanted to.
So what separated us from Saturday night to the next Thursday game we played at Ohio State or wherever we played it at? What separated us?
You mean Iowa? Landon Turner, Landon Montel Turner changed it, got his head together and finally started playing some ball.
There you
go. Knight kind of stopped cussing him out every day, and he kind of let Landon loose a little slight bit.
There you go.
It was over.
And you know what?
It was over.
Yeah, and we all loved it when he finally said, "You don't need to cuss Landon out anymore." The rest of us said, "Oh, thank God, we can leave the kid alone. We can let him go do his thing and play." I'm being
right.
Yeah.
Now he wants me to. I don't really have a Risley story.
Come on.
Story, but I will say this. There were times where he would give me a ride in his car. I mean, he had a beautiful car. It was nice and clean, and I mean, it was real nice. And then I think he must have worked on his motor, make so it could go faster and everything. And riding with Steve Risley, because back then we didn't put on our seat belts and stuff. I mean, we just got in the car. This dude should have been Mario Andretti. I mean, all over that campus, I don't think it took us 5 minutes to get to Assembly Hall to the dorms. This dude's foot had to weigh about at least 56 pounds. Do you still drive like that, Steve?
I'm loving this. Oh,
yeah. You still drive like that?
Yeah.
Well, you in L.A. now, so that's almost like being on the Autobahn.
I don't know. I don't think you can drive in L.A. I think the traffic's so bad he can't.
Yeah. You can't do that in L.A. My son works 20 miles away from where we live in L.A. It takes him 2 hours to go 20 miles. So he can't.
Man.
The 405. Go Just go look up the 405. It's the most traveled highway in the world, the 405. And it's like, oh,
Wow.
my God. It's terrible. But,
Wow.
yeah, I love – Mike, have I not said NASCAR? Auto racing's my favorite thing.
Yes,
I'm surprised
Steve.
you didn't do it. Or I'm surprised you don't have like start off with sprint cars or midgets and work your way up to NASCAR.
Landon, I'm 6'8". We don't fit in these things.
Well, I'm talking about you being the sponsor and owning a car.
There you go, Steve.
Yeah, I need to do that too.
Owning a sprint car, starting small and working your way up. Build your money up and everything, because I'm not in your pockets or nothing like that. But, because that was you, man, because you love the speed, man. I tell you. How many tickets did you get at IU?
Never won. Landon, do you understand? For my freshman year on, I had an A ticket. I had a blue sticker. A. I don't even know how I got it. But I got an A sticker.
How'd you get that?
Yeah, I don't know. I went to the bursar's office and asked for one. They gave me one.
You know how many tickets I get? I got probably over 50 tickets, and it was all because I was running late going to class. I would always park illegally, and they would ticket me every time.
And I would drive down to Ballantyne Hall and go by everybody, and I just had an A sticker. And I don't know how I got it, but it stayed in my car. I had it for 4 years. I don't know how I got it. I just asked.
I wish you would have let me know, because I tell you, I got it, man. See, the only time I didn't have to pay for tickets was my freshman year when I first went there. But ever since after that, I had to pay for tickets.
I know.
It was crazy.
I know. Yeah. That's yeah. You had to get the blue. You had to get the blue sticker, the A blue sticker. I had one.
But Mike,
4 years.
That is my Risley story. Risley's foot weighs about 56 pounds.
I think there's a lot better story there somewhere. Maybe I'll call you sometime.
I agree too. I agree too. Landon, hey, can you get Ray on the show? I don't think Ray likes me.
You don't think Ray what?
Likes me. I don't think I've asked him 4 times to be on the show, and he won't return my calls.
Well, man, I ask him, man, but if I ask him and he gives me a negative answer, I really don't want to transfer a negative answer to you.
No, I'm all fine with that. That's cool. I get negative answers all the time.
So don't put me in the middle. Don't put me in the
middle.
middle.
Come on, Risley.
Trying to get him on. Just keep trying to get him, man. He likes you, man. He didn't like riding with you because he said you drove too fast and crazy.
So Landon, this is what would be cool. Would be to get you, Ray, Whit, Kitch, Jimmy, and me. I don't know if you'll get Isaiah. I don't know what Isaiah. I have. We all have Isaiah's cell phone number, but getting a hold of him is not easy, justifiably. But wouldn't it be cool to have us all on together and do a show with all of us on together? Would that not be neat?
I don't think so, man, because I'm having a hard time communicating with just me and you.
I got to deal with that every day, by the way, Landon.
Oh, I don't know how you do it, man.
I don't either.
He just interjects. I mean, you can't even say interject. He just interrupts. And can you imagine five or six of us on the phone? Oh, there's no way not one person can put 1 point in.
He's got a point there.
But we scored 61 points. 63. It was a 61 or 63.
It was 63 to 50.
63 to 50. 63 to 50.
You know, that was our closest game. The games that we played was 13 points. The other ones was we averaged 23 points over our opponents.
Yeah, because LSU, you guys were down 10
game.
at the half and just destroyed them in the second half.
Yeah,
we weren't down. I don't think we were down 10. I think we were down 3, weren't we?
Well, you were down 10 with like a minute or two left in the half, and then I think that's when you and Isaiah and Ray went off.
And what did I do?
You were probably sitting and watching and clapping and holding a towel for when Landon came off the court and he was sweating.
There you go.
It's just a guess.
Or Ray, you know.
Or Ray.
I said Ray. Oh, okay. Well, anybody or Ted. I mean, Ted.
Or
could have been.
Ted.
No. Landon. Oh, God, so we can go on forever. Landon, Ray, or Ted got in foul trouble 4 minutes into the game, right?
Right.
He got a third foul. He never came back into the game.
No, he didn't. Because
He didn't.
You and Jim Thomas.
Jimmy, me and Jimmy. Yeah, it was you four,
Right.
and then me and Jimmy. That was it.
Because Coach Knight
That
only had a 7-man rotation. That's all he had was a 7-man rotation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And that's what you should be proud of.
What's that?
No, we should be proud of the fact that there was a 7-man rotation, and you were part of that rotation. You know, you were somebody that he counted on.
So, Steve, when were you enshrined into the Hall of Fame?
2017. It's like 20 years after you.
10
And I
years.
bought my way in.
No, mine was in 2012.
Oh, was it? I think you were
All right, 5 years after you.
Man, I would not come. Nobody let me know that, man. I would have been there for you, man. Nobody, I didn't even know. Nobody even let me know that you was being in.
It was not that important.
Well, to tell you the truth, Landon, Steve
And
just
that
found
is
out last
important
week.
to me, man. That is important to me, man. I would love to have been there for you.
It's important that we're all in there, and we're all there. Kish is in, Witt's in, you're in, Ray's in, I'm in. You look at all the Knights in. You look
Chuck
at all
Franz
the people
in.
that were tied. We're all in, and that's what's cool. And
Jimmy
your name-
Thomas isn't in.
No, he's from Florida. He can't be in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame.
Oh, you talking about? I was talking about the IU Hall of Fame.
Oh no, I'm not in that. No, God, no, I'll
okay.
never be in that.
I thought that's what you was talking about.
No, I've seen your ring. I've seen your Hall of Fame ring from IU. It's freaking gorgeous.
It's beautiful,
It makes
man.
It makes our championship ring look cheesy.
Well, you know what? I went and took our championship ring, man. I had mine redone in gold, man. Because how in the hell are you gonna win the national championship and you get a silver ring?
Landon, this is hilarious. And Mike, let's wrap it up on this. I just talked to Jostens 2 days ago. I had my ring redone in gold. Same thing.
And mine is redone gold, and it looks so much better.
Yeah, I know. I saw yours.
Better.
That's why I said I want to do that. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Right.
So I had.
I did show you that, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Yeah, and I said, how did you get the IU logo on that, not the Indiana across the nameplate?
Because I gave them my old ring, and they basically just took a mold of it and took that red ruby out, which I saw Louisville's ring. They had all diamonds, and we get a red ruby. You know, they just took the red ruby out and put it into the gold mold.
I got 2 words for you there. Nancy Knight.
Nancy Knight. Hey
That
man,
was her
can I just tell one more story before you all go?
Yes, you can.
How come when we was at IU playing basketball during Thanksgiving and Christmas, and he didn't let us go home, which most of us were from Indianapolis anyway, but we had to eat at his house. And on Thanksgiving he never had a turkey, and on Christmas he never had no ham or nothing like that. It was always damn hot dogs and hamburgers.
And he kicked us out. Do you remember him kicking us out at one time? At his own house.
Yeah, out of his house.
We have to leave. He kicked us out of his house. I'll never forget that. That's another story. Mike,
how come we didn't have no turkey? He could have easily had somebody cater in a turkey and some ham and stuff with all the money he got.
Did you get the ice on sweater?
We had hot dog. We could have been at our house in Indianapolis eating ham with our family, and we at his damn house eating hot dogs and hamburgers and potato chips.
Oh God, I remember that. And he kicked us out. He told us we had to leave. We ate dinner and we got there and we had to leave. I'll never forget them saying, "You have to leave. All of you out of here now." And did you get the eyes on sweater?
Right. That's crazy. Well, fellas, I appreciate you all, man.
Hey, I got one quick question. And it's from a listener
Okay, Mike.
from California. We'll get this in real quick. He said that
This is gonna be about
IU induction ceremony, Bob Hamill read a statement that Bob Knight wrote inducting you, and he wanted to know what your feelings were on that. So basically, the note that Knight read or wrote for Hamill to read before your induction.
Yeah, because that's all on YouTube and everything. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it kind of surprised me because I had saw Knight a couple weeks earlier at this thing he was doing for Steve Downing down at Marion College, and I asked Coach Knight. I said, would you come, and would you just come to me being inducted into the IU Hall of Fame? And he put his hand on my leg and said, Landon, I told myself I'm never going back to Indiana University, and I'm never going back to Indiana University. So when he said that, I just chalked it up as a loss. And then when they was introducing me, Bob Hamill got up and read the letter to Coach Knight, and I thought that was cool and everything. But when they did that, because before everybody got up, they showed highlights of everybody. But when Bob Hamill got up, after he got through talking, everybody wanted to hear me speak. They didn't even show my highlight. So in the beginning of my speech, I said, "Are you all going to show my highlights? Are you all going to show the jump hook? Are you going to show the jumper in the corner? What y'all going to do?" And so about halfway through my speech, they started showing my highlights. So I had to stop my speech, stop and turn around and look at the highlights.
Okay, so Landon, this is another question now. Mike, can I go on, or do we need to wrap it
That's
up?
up to Landon.
Landon, let me ask you one more question.
And because it's from
one more question.
Because it's from Risley the Grizzly, I got to take it.
Landon,
last question.
When he patted you on the ass or on your back, was that not the greatest feeling in the world?
Yes, it was until I was in a wheelchair and he was slapping me hard as hell right there where I broke my neck.
Touche.
It was like he was trying to hit me. It was almost like when I think about it, it was like he was trying to hit me real hard in the back of my neck to get my spinal cord to start working again. That's what I get from that.
But when he patted you,
did you not further damage?
But when he patted you, did you not feel like I earned that pat? I earned that pat. I only got
it all depends on what
5
year
or 10 of them in 4 years.
If he did that my freshman and sophomore year, I just looked at the pat like, whatever, man, whatever. But kind of in my junior year when I started getting a little more mature, I started taking those pats, more as and getting warm, cuddly feelings inside and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Landon, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Landon, thank you so much.
Absolute honor.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap it up. Steve, you got any final words for Landon?
No. Thank you, Landon. I mean, you are one of my heroes. That's all I can say.
And all I want to say is, Mike, I really don't know you, but you seem like a very nice guy. And I already know that you're a very patient guy by the way you get interrupted all the time. But Steve Risley, man, you'll always be my brother. I always love you. You'll always be my champion friend, And anytime you need me for anything, you need to call me. If you're in town, call me. Let's hook up, go to dinner, man. Let's hang out. I mean, I love you, and you'll always be my champion buddy, man, for real.
Well said, and thank you for that compliment. That's very nice of you. Mike,
all right.
Get us out of here.
Always be my champion.
All right.
This is 2 hours.
I want to remind everybody you can hear all of our shows on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you find sports podcasts, you'll find The Grueling Truth. So for Landon Turner, Steve Risley, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.